Welcome to Shadow Watch, where the shadows hold secrets that never let go. Picture this, a lonely Nevada highway, a flickering motel sign in the desert night, and guests who check in but vanish without a trace. Since the 60s, this place has swallowed souls, leaving only whispers and dust. Tonight, I'm unlocking the doors of that cursed motel where the walls hum with something dark. Ready to step inside? Hold on tight, because this true tale will make you double-check every roadside stop. It started with Lena, a free-spirited drifter chasing the open road, and her brother Sam, a mechanic tagging along in '68. They pulled off Highway 50 in Nevada, the loneliest stretch in America, drawn by the neon buzz of the Starlight Motel, a faded relic from the gold rush days. Locals avoided it, muttering about missing travelers, strange lights, but Lena loved a mystery, betting Sam she'd uncover its story. That night, under a moonless sky, the motel felt wrong. Too quiet, too still, waiting for them. The parking lot was empty, gravel crunching under their tires, the sign flickering vacancy in sickly green. Lena grabbed her notebook, sketching the peeling paint, while Sam checked the engine, grumbling about the heat. The clerk, a thin man, eyes sunken, voice flat, handed them a key, room 6, without a smile. Don't wander. Inside, the air was stale, thick with dust and a faint metallic tang, the walls yellowed, stained. Lena laughed, creepy jackpot, but Sam frowned, noticing the windows wouldn't open, bolted shut. At midnight, a hum buzzed through the floor, low, steady, rattling the bed frames. Lena jotted it down, grinning, but Sam tapped the walls. This ain't normal. The hum sharpened, and outside, the neon flickered faster, casting green shadows through the curtains. Footsteps echoed in the hall, slow, deliberate, but no one passed the peephole. Sam grabbed a wrench. Someone's out there. And Lena peeked, seeing nothing but a shadow stretching long, wrong, under the door. The hum turned to whispers, faint, overlapping. Stay, stay, stay. And the lights dimmed, the room growing cold. They bolted for the door, but it wouldn't budge, the knob ice cold, stuck. The clerk's voice crackled through an old radio, unplugged. You're home now. And the walls pulsed, stains shifting like faces, watching. Lena's notebook fell, pages flipping on their own, sketching hands reaching out. Sam hammered the window, glass unyielding, and the footsteps stopped, right outside. A knock, soft, insistent, shook the frame, and the shadow grew, seeping under the crack. Something scratched the wall, slow, deliberate, and the air thickened, heavy with rot. Lena whispered, "We're trapped," and Sam swung his wrench, denting the door, but it held, laughing back with a groan. The curtains twitched, no wind, no breeze, and a face pressed against the glass, pale, eyeless, grinning, gone in a flash. Sam cursed, "What the hell?" And the whispers swelled, "You belong here," as the floor tilted, sloping toward the wall. Lena grabbed the bed, nails digging in, but it slid, crashing into the pulsing stains. Now hands, reaching, clawing. The knock turned to pounding, the shadows splitting, multiplying, and the radio hissed again. Check in, never out. They weren't alone, and the motel wasn't letting go. Stick with me, because this check-in's only the start of the nightmare. Lena's heart pounded, the room tilting further, the bed sliding into the wall where hands, gray, bony, clawed out, grasping at the air. Sam swung his wrench again, cracking the doorframe, but the wood pulsed, sealing the dent, mocking him. The pounding grew louder, rhythmic, shaking dust from the ceiling, and the whispers turned to a chorus. Stay with us, stay forever. The shadow under the door split into 3, then 5, wriggling like snakes, and a claw scraped through, long, black, curling toward them. Lena screamed, "Sam, the window!" But the glass grinned back, eyeless faces pressing tighter. He lunged, smashing the wrench into it, sparks flying, but the glass held, rippling like water, swallowing the blow. The radio crackled, the clerk's voice deeper, "No leaving," and the floor buckled, splitting open, revealing a black pit, its edges pulsing red. Hands shot up, dozens, skeletal, nails jagged, grabbing Lena's legs, pulling hard. She kicked, falling back, and Sam yanked her free, but the pit widened, the hum roaring now, shaking the walls. The shadows burst in, not through the door, but the ceiling, gaunt figures, eyeless, mouths gaping, dropping silent onto the floor. They swarmed, claws clicking, their skin peeling, wet, gleaming under the flickering light. Sam swung wild, cracking one skull, black ichor spraying, but it laughed, a hollow gurgle, and lunged again. Lena grabbed a lamp, hurling it, shattering on another, but they kept coming, relentless, whispering her name. Lena, Lena. The pit pulsed faster, red light blinding, and a figure rose, taller. Its had a mess of eyes, all white, staring. It hissed, "You're ours," and the room shrank, walls closing, the air thick with rot and despair. Sam tackled one, wrestling it down, but its claws raked his back, blood soaking his shirt. Lena clawed the floor, reaching for the door, but it vanished, replaced by a mirror. Her reflection pale, eyeless, grinning back. The tall one loomed, claw tracing her cheek. "Check in." And the pit erupted, hands dragging Sam, his screams fading as he fell. She bolted, tripping over the bed, the creatures circling, their whispers a scream. "Never check out." The mirror pulsed, her reflection stepping out, clawing at her, and the room spun, swallowing her whole. The motel groaned, lights flickering out, and Lena hit the ground. Hard, cold, not the room, but a hallway, endless, doors lining both sides. The hum followed, the red light pulsing behind each door, and footsteps echoed, slow, heavy, closing in. She ran, the hallway stretching, doors rattling, hands banging from inside. Sam's voice called, faint, "Lena, help." But it wasn't him. Too low, too wrong. The tall one appeared ahead, its eyes multiplying. "You can't leave." And the doors flew open, shadows pouring out, eyeless, reaching. The motel wasn't a building. It was alive, and she was its blood. Lena's boots slapped the hallway floor, the doors banging louder, shadows spilling out like ink, their claws scraping the walls. The hum drilled into her skull. "Stay, stay." And the tall one's eyes glowed ahead, white, unblinking, multiplying across its face. She veered, slamming into a door, unlocked, swinging open, and stumbled into room 6 again. The same stains, the same hum, but the mirror now loomed, her reflection clawing the glass, mouthing, "You're us." The tall one hissed behind, "No running," and the shadows swarmed, their whispers a roar, drowning her screams. She grabbed the bed frame, swinging it, smashing a shadow, its ichor splattering, but it reformed, laughing wetly. The pit gaped in the floor, red light pulsing, and Sam's voice echoed up, "Lena, join me." His face rising, eyeless, grinning, claws reaching. She backed away, the mirror shattering, her reflection stepping free, gray-skinned, lunging at her. Lena dodged, crashing into the wall, and it pulsed, hands breaking through, wrapping her wrists, pulling hard. The tall one loomed, claw tracing her neck. "Check in." And the room spun, the pit sucking the air, dragging her closer. She kicked, breaking free, and ran for the window, now cracked, leaking fog. The shadows shrieked, claws slashing, but she dove, glass shattering, tumbling into the parking lot. Empty, silent, the neon sign dark. She scrambled up, lungs burning, the motel still, but the hum followed, buzzing in her bones. The clerk stood at the office door, grinning, "Never check out." And the ground trembled, cracks splitting, hands clawing up. Guests, travelers, their faces eyeless, whispering her name. "Lena, stay." The truck loomed ahead, keys glinting in the ignition, and she bolted, diving in, engine roaring to life. She floored it, tires spinning, the motel shrinking in the rear view. But the clerk's face appeared there, eyeless, grinning wider. The hum spiked, the dashboard flickered, and her hands tightened on the wheel, skin graying, nails lengthening into claws. The shadows rose behind, lining the highway, and Sam's voice hissed, "You're home," from the passenger seat. Empty, but his reflection grinned back, red light in his sockets. The road stretched, endless, the motel fading, but the whispers stayed, "We're with you." And her eyes burned, vision shifting. white, glowing, seeing too much. She swerved, panic rising, but the truck slowed, gas draining, stopping dead. The shadows closed in, the tall one stepping from the dark, "You can't leave." And the motel flickered ahead, closer, neon buzzing again. Lena clawed her face, screaming, but her reflection in the windshield showed it. White eyes, unblinking, and the doors opened, hands pulling her back. The motel wasn't done. It owned her now, forever checked in. Lena's screams choked in her throat, the hands dragging her from the truck, claws digging into her flesh as the motel loomed closer, its neon buzzing alive. Vacancy, pulsing red. The tall one towered, its white eyes multiplying, spreading across its face, and the shadows swarmed, their whispers a storm. "Stay, stay, stay." Her vision blurred, white glow seeping from her eyes, and she clawed the ground, nails snapping, but her hands shifted, gray, clawed, not hers anymore. The tall one hissed, "You're home," and the motel's doors swung wide, sucking her in with a rush of cold air. She hit the floor, the hallway stretching endless again, doors banging, red light pulsing behind each one like a heartbeat trapped in time. The hum roared, syncing with her pulse, and the walls bled, black ichor dripping, forming faces, screaming silently, their mouths stretched wide in terror. Sam stepped from a door, eyeless, grinning, claws flexing. "We're all here," and the tall one loomed behind, its voice grinding like gravel. "Check in." The floor cracked, a pit opening beneath her feet, and hands erupted. Guests, dozens, hundreds, pulling her down, their whispers now her own voice, rasping. "Never check out." Lena thrashed, kicking free with a desperate surge, and ran, the hallway twisting, doors flying open, shadows lunging with claws outstretched. A window flickered ahead, cracked, leaking desert air through jagged edges, and she dove, glass shattering, tumbling into the parking lot once more. She gasped, the motel silent, the neon dark, but her reflection in the truck's window showed white eyes, unblinking, her skin peeling, claws gleaming in the faint moonlight. The whispers buzzed inside her skull. "You're us," and the ground trembled, the motel rising behind her, closer, alive, its walls pulsing with eyes. White, staring, endless, inescapable. She bolted, the highway stretching before her, but her legs slowed, heavy, the hum louder, her claws scraping asphalt with every faltering step. Headlights flared. A car, real, honking wildly, and she waved, desperation clawing at her chest, but the driver screamed, swerving, crashing into a ditch with a sickening crunch. Lena lunged, claws sinking into metal, tearing the door free, her white eyes glowing, the whispers roaring, "Take them." The motel flickered in the distance, its neon approving, and she grinned, teeth jagged, dragging the driver out, his screams fading into the vast, empty night. The shadows rose, the tall one nodding from afar. "Spread us." And Lena turned, the highway hers now, a hunter checked in forever, bound to its will. So, that's Nevada's vanishing trap, folks. A motel that doesn't just keep you, it sends you back out worse. Feel that hum yet? Hit that like if you're still free, and comment, ever passed a creepy sign? Subscribe to Shadow Watch, because we've got more doors to unlock. Share this with a road trip buddy, or don't, if you're too spooked to let this curse hitch a ride. Catch you next time, unless the neon calls first.